So I had an idea for what could theoretically make an awesome VR game if VR wasn't as bad as it is. VR is actually getting really good at stuff, but it's bad at one thing in particular that makes it a horrible idea instead of a great one. And that is movement. If you don't know, the human brain is very good at tricking itself because our eyes and our head move faster than we can process information. So your brain will backlog data when you move your eyes too fast. So if you whip your head around really, really fast, in reality, your eyes go completely blank and your brain processes none of the data. But your brain also knows what that area is supposed to look like. So it will tell your sense of self, your consciousness, or whatever, the part of you that's you and not your brain, that time isn't what you think it is, and effectively backfill the data, which is why sometimes a second on a clock will go slower than it actually is, because you whipped your head around too fast to look at it. Now, our brain is very good at doing this, which is a problem, because in VR, we're still too fast at looking, but the VR can't backdate information for us. So instead of moving around, VR either has little to no movement, it ignores your sensors if you go too fast, or instead of having you walk around, it just teleports you. This is a problem for my idea, because the idea I had was to turn Fable 2 into a VR game. Fable 2 is one of my all-time favorite games. Easily my top 10. And it would make a fantastic VR game, because you could effectively use the sword attacks and melee attacks from like Wii style games, like Skyward Sword and stuff. Super hot gun mechanics with laser pointers to make up for the lack of real ability to aim for Fable 2's guns. And for the spells, you could do a different frequency of vibration for whatever spell it is, and then a different intensity, how hard it's shaking, for the level of the spell. And you can either push it out to cast it at somebody, or push it down if you're trying to attack. All of these would make Fable a great game, like a great VR game, if one of Fable's big mechanics wasn't moving around to dodge your attacks, or moving around so you can line up the perfect shot on a troll. And I think it would be a lot less fun if you were just pushing a button to teleport instead. Now, and of course, the best way to play Fable 2 would be one of those Ready Player One style gaming suits, where you can feel almost literally everything your in-game avatar feels. Take that and one of those endless treadmill things, and you'd have one of like the best possible gaming experiences, at least in regards to Fable 2. But that does present a problem that if you're going that far, where do you stop? Because if we have that level of tech, the Ready Player One suits, at that point, you're like one step away from going full Matrix, plugging your brain directly into the computer, and assuming we're not being controlled by an evil AI, that seems like a great idea. As long as you do a slightly better version of Ready Player One limited time thing. Ready Player One's problem, of course, was on like Monday and Wednesday or something, you weren't allowed to log in, which would be a problem for a couple of reasons. One, a lot of jobs were in the Oasis, and so now those jobs just couldn't function on those days. And problem two, if your job wasn't in the Oasis and you only had X days off, I don't know, maybe Monday and Wednesdays because of a personal schedule or something, and those were your only guaranteed free times, well, you can't spend it in the Oasis apparently. Instead, put something like, I don't know, a 4-hour limit of non-work, non-class, a 4-hour limit of random free time to encourage people to get out and experience the real world, which was their big thing. Yeah, thank you all for listening, if anyone's even been listening.